Boopity boo.
Bang! Hello there, gamers. Welcome back to my hideout. I am your host, the Hood, back with another gameplay video for you today. And what do we have today? Today we have something different. An unusual sounding game that has recently been released, described as a narrative-driven hardcore RPG, where we live the story through the protagonist's journal. So, this may involve quite a lot of reading for me, but I am up to the challenge. So today, we are playing the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Join me now as we begin the story of Sir Brante in times of the fall of the blessed Arcanian Empire. And the art style is absolutely gorgeous. So let's click new game and get into it. Sir What Brante. Choose your name carefully. Other characters will address you exactly like this. Oh my god, I can't have zeros for my name. Sir Hood Brante. Okay, what can we choose? Chapter restarts enabled. You'll be able to rewind to the beginning of any chapter you've completed and continue from that point. You will not be able to go back to previous chapters and change your decisions. You will live the character's life from start to finish and endure all mistakes and misfortunes. Hell, let's go for that one. We got one life, we gotta live it right. Consequences. You will see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. This is the recommended game mode, as you will be able to direct the character's fate in the way you want. Or we can have them hidden. Ooh, we'll go for open. I was waiting to see if someone would read it out for me. They're not going to. So now, I'm gonna have to do it. Let me make sure my voice is ready for today. Oh, it's not, but never mind. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. Excellent, I like the sound of it. It sounds very, very exciting. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Don't worry, I'll manage it! Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often, you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you choose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Okay, sounds like there's a lot to balance. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you. It's a lot of pressure, man, but don't worry, I can handle it. Is that me?
The story of my life remains written on these pages. But my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
Okay, so as I understand it, this will be the main format of the game. I will read something, I will make a choice, and then that will lead into the next part of the story. It is divided into chapters, and right now on Steam, I believe chapters 1 and 2 are still free. So if you wanted to try it out for yourself, now is a great time to do so. But hopefully, I will be able to make an interesting video that you will enjoy and make you want to create your own story of Sir Brante. At the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking, yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you, and how did you reach this end? So the good thing is, I lived to a ripe old age. No matter what choices I make, I'm getting to be that grisly old guy at the end. Next, you were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth, whether human or Arcanian, nobleman, priest, or lowborn commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods, and each life is naught but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital. Years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood. High ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle, and faces. So many faces of the people you held dear. The people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice. All of it led you here, to the end of your time, and every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, the pain and joy, inextricably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life. Of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate? Or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? Are these my first choices? This is my first response. What determines a man's destiny? What are our choices? The man himself. Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. The world around him. Your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society in which you lived. A higher power. Your destiny was forged by a power greater than your own will. There is no destiny. Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It is not governed by any laws. Oh man, the first choice is a tricky one. Now, what I'm going to do in this playthrough is just pick the choice that comes naturally. Typically, if that means that I can do anything roguish, I'm going to follow that path, because that's the character I like to play. Right now, I am torn between choosing the man himself or There Is No Destiny, because they're very, very similar. There Is No Destiny says, basically, that I chose my path. I was born into a life and I picked my path. It wasn't relying on a higher power or the world around me, and when I was born, it was all me. The man himself, you made your own destiny. They're the same thing. So that is, there is no destiny, and I made my own destiny. That's confusing, man. That's too much right now. We're gonna go for the man himself. It begins! You can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders and take a deep, full breath. You have found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you'll have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Brante will live once more. Okay, wow, so I'm starting right at childhood. We're going to make our way through adolescence to youth, peacetime, and revolt. I'm not sure if these are the different chapters, but let's start playing and find out. Yes, they are. Chapter 1, childhood. Do I get to be a little scamp? A rascal? Or a rogue? I better be. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults. So many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? Brante, that's who. The year is 1118. Prologue, growing up. In chapters childhood, adolescence, and youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. By the end of prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Exciting stuff, man. I don't like that it keeps calling me a hero. Can't I be a villain? I mean, I don't want to be a villain. I just want the choice. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. The fencing lesson. You dare to study fencing like your father, even though you have no rights to it by birth. Beyond. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth. Oh my god. Insight. You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world and the lot of its inhabitants. Or nobleman's sacrament. You challenge the sacred order and attempt to seize a noble lot. Whoa. Oh, so there are conditions that have to be met for each one. So my determination has to be above 4, and I have to train with my father to get the fencing lesson. Okay. Suffer a death, that's an easy one. Perception, play with ants, kiss the sword, willpower, greater than 0. Okay, let's go. Ready, I'm ready. For personal qualities at this age, everything starts at 0, and my actions help them grow. Determination, your perseverance and strength of character, your ability to get your way. It affects your frame of mind and the skills you have when you grow up. Perception represents how attentive you are to the other people and the world around you, your ability to comprehend and learn. Willpower, your remaining inner strength and readiness for action. You spend it on difficult choices. Oh, so that can go as low as -10 and as high as 30. Deaths, untouched by death. After suffering a lesser death, one is reborn. One who dies at true death faces the judgment of the twin gods. I did wonder about that because it says that I make it to an old age. So do I get to die and then I just get reborn in the same place and have to make a different choice? Who knows? Do I die and then I live on having made that bad choice that killed me? I don't know. Let's find out. Stop asking me. I don't know. I've never played this before. The sections that open in this chapter. Destiny screen is now available. Personality screen is now available. House of Brante and the family screens are now available. Begin chapter. Yes, so there are 5 chapters. So we have childhood, adolescence, youth, peacetime, the revolt, the House of Brante, tarnished honor, moderate means, peace, heir, Stephen Brante. Okay, let's go. I've talked long enough. I think you're going to be talking a little bit more. Maybe not. Yes, I am. Birth! At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation. Nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands towards you. There are 2 of them, the ones who made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and emphatic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet, there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft, open palm, a strong, closed fist, a lingering, distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Now it's clear which way I'm going. I am leaning towards the shadow. Ooh, it puts my willpower up 10. Oh, so these are the consequences. Now I wish I'd turned them off. I don't want to see that. I'd liked it to have been a surprise. So I'm gonna do the shadow. What would have happened to the others? To the fist, my determination grows. To the palm, my perception grows. Shadow! I like you. Your first smile appears on your face, awkward yet genuine. Your mother and father exchange looks and start talking. You know no words yet, so all you hear is a sequence of booming sounds. But the stranger behind them has no need for words. The stranger's look is all it takes for you to feel the will to live and act that now burns within you. The shadow brings a finger to its lips, as if to say, there, baby, don't cry. This is our secret now. And then the shadow melts into the light. Willpower plus 10. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? I'm already 1 year old! So that looked as though there were 8 little ticks along that line. So I think chapter 1 is going to be my first 8 years of life. Hide and seek. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong cold hands. He visits you rarely. Distant, eh? Robert Brante. Hello there, little hood Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. Lydia Brante.
My, you're growing so quickly, my child.
There are 2 more children in the family, named Stephen and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stephen likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you in the air. Lydia Brant.
Oh look, this is your brother and sister.
Stephen Brant. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge, 'cause you were born a commoner. You're a prick, Stephen. I don't like you. Gloria.
Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Hood. Let's go play in the yard.
She's got her mother's voice, that one. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky, far above and away from you, is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright, it hurts to look at it. Don't then. Why are you staring at the shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. How old is Stephen? He sounds really old, but he doesn't look it. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. Good for you, Stephen.
He's just a little baby. How's he gonna play?
Then you hide him, and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they are talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stephen and Gloria glance at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from the light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason. And then she's gone. That's a little bit irresponsible, Gloria. You can no longer hear Stephen's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? I can cry loudly. I can find my way home, or I can sit there and wait. What would I do in that situation? I would sit there and wait. It's hide and seek. The only way I can win is if I sit and wait. If I cry, I'll be found. If I go home, that's basically quitting. I'm no quitter. I'll sit and wait, play with the bugs. The bush is covered with leaves, swaying in the wind. You brush through them with your fingers. The twigs and branches are stiff and will not bend. They are different from the blades of grass. Down on the ground, you see a group of bugs carrying a little twig. You grab it from them. They're so funny. One of the bugs crawls on your finger and bites it. Just enough to sting a little. Little prick. Squash him. You hear brisk steps, then the leaves and twigs rustling and parting. Your mother leans over you. You greet her with a happy face and show her the finger with the bug on it. Bug!
So that's where they took you.
Correct. Mother picks you up. Did I win? Puts you to her chest and pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stephen keeps staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. My perception increases. Oh, I'm 2 years old already. Yes. So I'm thinking that each year I'm going to get to either pick a new skill. And this is how we will grow. The Great Descent. Another memory. You are still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stephen is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria.
My son, today is the Great Descent. We honor the gods. No, we honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand.
Why did you explain it then, Mother?
So just do everything your sister says for now.
Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys here, no chairs. This is a playroom. Even the carpet has been taken away. There is nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Not even a bug. I like bugs.
Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong.
Why do I belong in a crappy empty toy room? It is quiet. Unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in the empty room. It's a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. I'm not singing, but I can say the lines.
When the twins...
I can sing a little.
When the Sings came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me.
I hate your voice, Gloria. Stop singing.
Help us rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand. Guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil. Always patient, never spoiled.
Is that the end? Damn!
Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your Lord and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere.
Stop it, Gloria, please! You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze, and a smile creeps across her face.
You like the rhyme, don't you, Hood? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon?
I remember!
That's it! You can see the shining pillar anytime from anywhere in the world.
What about the bottom of the sea?
If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar. And if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot.
Got it.
You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too. So the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand?
This doesn't sound fair.
The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody.
I'm gonna challenge this system. I hate it. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. Can I not just choke her to death? The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerges 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder. The other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more.
Know your Lord and know the prayer.
You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? Do I finish it properly or sing the last line wrong? I would finish it properly. My personality and perception grows. Or my determination. You shout words of your own instead of the last line of the song. However, yes, I said I would finish the song properly, but I also said I would smash the system. So I'm gonna sing the last line wrong. Screw you, song!
Know your lot and know the prayer.
The lots are lies told everywhere. Yes. You shout these words, but you have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming in from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You see disappointment in her eyes.
Hood, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it?
You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. That sounds like me. Yes, I am spineless. Age 3, year 1121, spring, the origin. You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service. But your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet come unto nobility. Too damn right I will. I'm gonna smash the system from within. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stephen now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names and Stephen pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stephen gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon, you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, a boy or a girl. You will love them the most. When father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You found these stories of wars, generals and rebellions quite enchanting, and father approves of your fascination. Study hard and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. The lot of suffering. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stephen is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. That's right, I did. Take that, Stephen. You see mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days.
Why did you hurt Stephen, Hood?
You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. You're a prick, Stephen. I wish I'd killed you with my wooden sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you.
Even if Stephen hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer.
I'm not standing for that.
But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us.
No way! Stephen's not ruling over me. I'll kill him before that happens.
If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. And the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be.
Now Stephen looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. Accept your punishment. Deny your guilt. Demand an explanation. I accept my guilt. I will not accept my punishment. I demand an explanation. You demand that Mother explain why things are like this. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father is a noble? If you have your father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't have one? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Mother is stunned by all the questions you are peppering her with.
Don't you dare ask me about that, Hood. I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it all to you. I'm a commoner, not a priest.
You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. Tears keep rolling down your cheeks. It feels like the punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you are finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs and walk to your room. You see a book on your bed. The Teachings of Isacius, Volume 2. Your tears have dried now. You begin to read, slowly making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body bringeth the soul ever closer to the twins' judgment. And when the body dieth a true death, the soul soareth to the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followeth his lot in life from birth shall melt in bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read from this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. I am curious! Gloria's rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. I don't like her singing. Hey, Hood, no.
Hey, Hood, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stephen?
He deserved it, the damn prick.
Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine.
Fantastic, Gloria, well done. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She's holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. Who sat in the tree?
What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom.
Oh, don't answer her back. She's a bitch. She'll belt the shit out of you.
No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone.
You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learn how to properly care for your children.
She's getting angry. You can hear it in her voice.
And your disgraceful former father kept me in this house. You could have been born a noble, but that is not our fate. And you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again!
Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to this scene, unsure of how to act. So I'm gonna get 2 points this year. And it looks like I can't choose that one. Conditions not met. So to complain about my sister, I needed better determination than I've got. So I can offer to write rhymes with her, which will really people off. I can comfort my sister, which will reduce my willpower. She would be grateful and like me more. Or I can leave, and my willpower will increase. What would I do? My natural instinct is to comfort her. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault. You say what Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking.
But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me? Really?
Really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you.
Hood, you're the best little brother in the world.
Of course I am. The two of you make a deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets. Always. I am 4. Halfway there. Year 1122. Winter. The coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stephen and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other?
Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stephen, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older.
How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stephen and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear.
When you enter the temple, bow to the twins. First to the elder on the right, and then to the younger on the left. Stephen, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side, paved with marble where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side.
That's bull.
When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stephen, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash.
What?
Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot.
Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. And I can't say I blame her. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too, one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stephen is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Oh, now Stephen's gonna be even more of a prick to me, is he? Brother and sister's sacrament. 1122. Your brothers Stephen and Gloria took their first sacrament at the temple. The newborns cry. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothing is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stephen and Gloria are also here. All excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no. The two of you will play together and tease Stephen together and help Mother together and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day, you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out, she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting. but instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time.
Go away, Hood! You're bothering me!
She spits out these words through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite.
Enough already! When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet!
I fear for Nathan. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. Her cries get even louder. She looks so tired from his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. Do I call father for help? No, the guy's never here. Do I redirect her anger to yourself? Do I take the beating? Or do I snatch Nathan from mother? Of course that's what I do. I said I was going to be the best brother in the world. I'm going to take him from that evil witch. He's mine, woman. Get off him. I will soothe the boy. You leap at your mother and demand she give you Nathan. How old am I? 4? She freezes when she hears the words. You snatch your little brother out of her arms. She chokes with rage and falls on the bed screaming. You run away to the playroom. Your baby brother is heavy in your arms. He sniffles. You sway him gently like mother did and quietly sing him a lullaby about the twins. Nathan calms down. Soon he closes his eyes. You put the newborn on your bed and swear on your life that no one will ever hurt him when you're around. You hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. Father enters the playroom. He looks at you, then at Nathan, somewhat confused. You did something bigger than you today, son. It is a noble deed to protect your family, but you should have come to me. Please understand, this was my duty, not yours. Now, I think his voice changes every time I read it. You saved your baby brother from harm. It's because he's aging, he's getting older, his voice is changing. That's what's happening. If you feel yourself ready to take the responsibility to protect others, then maybe you can walk the path of noble when you're older. But for now, we should bring him back to your mother. Come with me. He picks Nathan up. Your brother is fast asleep, breathing quietly. The 3 of you return to mother's bedroom. Father puts Nathan back in the crib. Mother is no longer screaming. She embraces you.
Please forgive me. The twins know I was out of my mind. Please don't be angry with me.
You hug mother in response. That's right, Nathan. You're gonna be fine. I'll protect you. Yes, that was a quick year. I'm 5 already. Toy soldiers. You wake up to your father's touch on your shoulder. He is finally home after a long trip. Hood, today is your special day. See, it's a different voice. The day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. Sounds like a good idea. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. I like presents. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I am taking him to the market district. Do I get to choose my toy? Stephen wants to come with you too, but father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. He's gonna try and get me for this, that prick. An open carriage takes the 2 of you through the dusty, noisy streets. A pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anazotta. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches above the whole city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set. No, I don't. Which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well, war isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead. Take your present. Having said this, father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there is a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He is about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? You press against father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words.
Is this true, Hood? Did you strike the son of a nobleman?
I'm not taking the blame for this. This is not my fault. The guy's a little crybaby. I will tell him the truth. It isn't fair to blame me without letting you speak too. You didn't want to shove that stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to these words, no matter how sad they may make him. They lead you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Jesus Christ, I'm 5. I've already had a lash and a posh boy beating my face in. Enough! He got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to your senses, back in your bed, with servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. The morning after, you find a box on your bed with the tin soldiers of the holy orders inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. Yes, that sounds like me. I will pay dearly for my stubbornness. And I will not learn! I am 6. Yes. 11:24, summer, the family dinner. Today, father ordered the dinner table be brought out to the yard. For the first time in months, he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stephen, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden, and now dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together with father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny sing-song voice. Stephen mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his moustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stephen listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. F*** you, Stephen. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. It took f***ing 6 years to have a decent night. Then a servant approaches father with a letter in his hand. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off his father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anizotti. He is the head of our family. My father. Gregor, eh? Grandfather's return. The intrusion. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she's ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stephen stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then one day, grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Mother, father, Stephen, Gloria, you and Nathan, the entire Brante family, stand on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I'm the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I don't like you, Gregor. Damn it, we've got another prick in the family now. I live honourably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born wench cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. I've lost track of the voices between Robert and Gregor. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I've been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children... What do they know of tradition or honor? I'll show you honor, you prick. They are being raised in a virtuous family, father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stephen with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stephen for the journey. Stephen freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib in mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this, Robert? Tin soldiers in your younger son's room? He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming in a battle. I'll chop his f***ing legs off. I won't be daydreaming anymore. I'll be living it. Grandfather seizes the box containing the tin warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present on your first day of studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove you're right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt in the flames. Oh my God, I can't watch them melt because I don't have the perception. I can't rescue my soldiers because I don't have the determination. I can't burst into tears because I'm not a f***ing baby. Smack the old man! Driven by mad and anger and injustice, you kick grandfather in the leg. Oh my God, my deaths are about to go up. Overwhelmed by helpless rage, you run to grandfather and kick him in the leg with all the strength you can muster. Yet, he is immovable. The next thing you see is him leaning, towering over you menacingly, his heavy walking stick in hand. Lowborn scum! How dare you raise a hand to me? The blow hits home. The handle of the walking stick is as heavy as a rock. You are dazed, robbed of both hearing and sight. Down comes another blow. A sharp pain splits your head. Then, darkness. Your hand twitches against your will, then again and again, like it is trying to catch a flying butterfly, and then you fall into the primordial void. The void takes away a part of you, one of the lives you were given to live. It will never return. There is pain, a desperation, and a sense of loss. Nothing can be done now. First, death. You fall into a pain that embraces you like a soft feather bed. You feel light, free. There are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelops you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you. Their touch is soft. They delicately enshroud what was once your body. It's a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before. Something absolute and complete. You touch something greater. The reason behind everything. The reason behind your very existence. You were sculpted from this light. It was the first thing you ever felt. A boundless and sincere unity of the diverse. Your beginning was a spark that cast this light in all directions, and now you are here again. One with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming from you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it in the north, as always. The waves of light carry you to two figures. The eldest is nearest. He is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits further back. You do not know what he is yet. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-light kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You are filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. They know this, and they love you. You will never be alone. You are part of them, a part of your family, a part of this universe. The twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread out amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float on to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer you get to the silver tree, the heavier you become. The waves draw you down along its trunk, but you do not wish to part with the warmth and the softness, with the love. You turn around. The elder is still watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go. Your time has not yet come. You must return to the world now. As you tumble down towards your body, you comprehend the true meaning of your lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists not only in the hereafter, it is present in the entire design of the twins that is the origin of all life in this world. What is the manifestation of this love in your mortal life? Do I get to choose? Cause. The love of the gods have for you is so great they have allowed you to change the world they have created, to influence it with your deeds. Whatever your mission is, it is proof of the twin gods' love for you. A sudden comprehension of the love with which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind, but then it fades away and vanishes. You regain the sensation of your flesh. It is heavy and unwieldy. It lacks that lightness, that light. It is a burden. It is smothering you. You gasp for air. Your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odor of the crypt fills them, revolting, but so real. You are back. That's right, baby. I'm back. Then you smell a sickly moist smell. You feel dampness all around you. You come back to your senses in the gloom of the family crypt, lying flat on a stone slab. They put me in the crypt? Your parents are on their way to the crypt right now. You hear their muffled voices. They are arguing, and against all the rules, Mother will not agree with Father.
Why would Sir Gregor do this? He just took one of our child's lives!
Is it known that everyone has loads of lives? Lydia, my father is our family's head, and the boy raised an hand to him. There was nothing we could do, and Father did admit that he was too hard on him. Please do not anger Sir Gregor. You need to accept this. It will never happen to any of our children ever again. Sir Gregor is on my list. I will kill him, along with Stephen, just for being a prick. Their voices grow quiet as they lean over you. You lean on your elbows to try and get up from the stone. Mother gingerly wraps her cloak over your naked body as you shiver from the cold. Right. If it's expected that I'd die, why put me in a freezing cold crypt, and why strip me naked? Weird!
My son, your first death came far too soon. I know it may be difficult to realize what happened, but know this. The twin gods are ever merciful. You are a child and your time to leave for the hereafter has not yet come. You will be returned here by the gods twice more, but do not tempt fate again, and never ever defy those who can easily take your life.
I'll do what I want!
Hood, you have angered your grandfather greatly. Do not stand in Sir Gregor's way ever again, and he will never hurt you again. For now, just stay away from him.
I'm gonna kill him! Father stays a step away from you, not saying a word. When Mother finishes talking, he picks you up and carries you outside. Together your parents take you from the family crypt. On your way out of the crypt, you take a moment to touch your head. It is perfectly fine. There is no sign of the blow. Back home, Grandfather is still walking through the house, examining the rooms. You can see that Stephen and Gloria are disturbed by what just happened. Nathan starts crying when he sees you. The playroom still reeks of burnt paint. There is something new about you now. A pitch black stripe on your left arm. It looks like a strange bit of dirt at first, but it will not wash off. It will be like that forever, Mother explains. That is all she will say of it. My relations with Grandad Gregor have reduced. He does not like me, and I dislike him. Event has happened. Suffer your first death. As a small child, you suffer your first death and rebirth. Oh yes, beyond. Woohoo! Take that. I forgot about those. Year 1124. Fall, the master of the house. Soon Grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stephen goes with him. Double result! From that day on, Father's hired teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. It's not Arcanian. Arcanian. You often distract yourself from the instruction by playing with your younger brother, Nathan. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your father receives a letter from Stephen. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also earning the art of swordplay. That's my favourite part. With Stephen now at the boarding school, Grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the Empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask your mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. Each time Grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating Grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes Father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. Because I'm a prick. This home is mine, and I will live here as befits the man of the nobility. Prick, like I said. An illustrious guest. Some days Grandfather stays home, and on those days you try to your best to stay out of his sight. But there is no way you can avoid family breakfast. The food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat it. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She has been crying all night again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table where nobody used to sit before. Robert, it is high time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments.
Sir Brad, please, let them live free of their lot for a while longer. They are but...
Shut your mouth! Robert, that wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. It is time you considered a real marriage, Robert. One to a woman of the proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down Mother's cheeks. Father does not look away from the plate. His hands clenched into fists. Bash him in the head, will you? Baroness th3.h00d is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for her inheritance right now and could use proper support and a husband. You can keep your lowborn Lydia around if you like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. I will not do that, father. I am the head of this family, and the family's standing took a severe blow after you married that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you give up the memory of beautiful Amalia Elborn for this lowly woman and that bastard child of hers? But now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me! Father nods curtly, trying not to look in Mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stephen. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see him. She is coming for a visit tomorrow. Be prepared. Grandfather wipes his voice with his napkin, throws it onto his plate and leaves. Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then Father stands up and orders you and the other children back to your rooms. He needs to speak to Mother in private. Father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts a crease on the woolen blanket. He distances himself from you after Stephen's departure, so you are not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face in the dark. There is a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma th3.h00d, will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be as immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. Let you down, eh? Someone in this house needs a f***ing backbone. On the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She has been crying, and for a long time. It hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining quietly. You and Nathan are dressed in new doublets, your tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears, wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humble brown dress, looking pale. Grandfather has an uncharacteristically contented look about him. You hear the sound of wheels and hooves against the cobbles in the yard, then a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber is completely quiet and still, fearing Grandfather's observant eye. The door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful dark-haired woman in a dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady th3.h00d and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. Baroness, allow me to introduce you Robert's sons, Hood and Nathan Brante. Frankly, it's his eldest Stephen who currently deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in a Turner with other young noblemen like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud one day. Grandfather eyes you with a probing look. How will you act in front of the Baroness? Will you accept her here, next to your mother, your father's rightful wife? Greet her politely, walk away with Mother, maintain your composure. Ooh, demand that Mother be introduced. Damn, I can't do it. I think, for now, I'm gonna maintain my composure. See how this pans out. There wasn't a good option for me there. You mutter a proper greeting to Lady th3.h00d and bow your head. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Mother walking upstairs to her room. You, on the other hand, follow Father and Grandfather obediently into the sitting room. Grandfather and Baroness th3.h00d engage in small talk over dinner. They discuss her inheritance litigation, and he advises her like the judge he is. Father is mostly silent, only getting in a word or two. The morning after, Father leaves for a Turner with Grandfather to visit Stephen. He returns from the capital in a quiet rage. You overhear your parents talking. Apparently Grandfather has already poisoned Stephen's mind against him, and he greeted Father with cold hostility. The name Baroness th3.h00d is never mentioned in the house again. I am 7! We are in the last year of childhood. The kaleidoscope. Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says to you that he wishes Stephen had been the one to stay home instead of you. You prick. You never expected to hear these words from your father of all people. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you now busy yourself with reading and calculations in the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. Aren't you hurt?
Aren't you hurt?
Me? What? Aren't you hurt by the way Grandfather treats you? You ask. Gloria just shrugs.
Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way. That's it.
She shows you the strange tube she has been holding all day.
Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside?
Too damn right I do. Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eyes see a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horsemen, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines, and you swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive, and calm and peaceful. Just like Father's smile before Grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold radiating gentle warmth. Like mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow you see Gloria's green eyes, gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned and time slips away unchecked. But you are still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again. But you cannot preserve it, no matter how you try. You are caught in the conflict. There is so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart, or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you, but you still have lessons to do today? Well, unfortunately, I don't have any other choice but to keep looking through the kaleidoscope. You continue peering into the ever-changing patterns the kaleidoscope offers you. They become truly interesting when you point it at the shining pillar gleaming in the sky. In your mind's eye, one battle follows another, filling your ears with clanging steel and the neighing of horses. You are leading the Imperial Army now. Everyone is so proud of you. Grandfather says you're better than Stephen, and Father's stern voice cuts your daydream short. You lost track of all time. It is evening now. How did you get your hands on this toy, Ud? Why aren't you studying? Give it to me. You will have double the lessons tomorrow. Sweet temptation. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in the house. He has become something you are used to. Something nagging, yet not unordinary. Like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. The tension still remains, however. Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable, it almost stings for real. Your lessons with the tutor are done for today. You are walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up on your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She is startled.
Oh, it's you, Hood. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something.
I hope it's fucking poison. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate, like all sweet things. Yet Grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the high-born treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on a shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stephen used to boast that candied fruit tastes incredible, and now you have a perfect opportunity to try it. You try a candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet! You have never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes a fruit and brings it to her mouth. Carefully, like a rare treasure. There is a thumping on the stairs, footsteps accompanied by the knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but Grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Gloria after you, but she is frozen in place, with a bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm.
You
squalid, ungrateful, low-born child! How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother would be sleeping in a ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? His hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls to the floor right next to where you are hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready, but then he sees you huddling behind the armchair.
Please don't hurt him, Sir Brant. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me.
You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it then, Milksop? Did you try the sugar too, or were you trying to stop this piece of filth like she says? Do I tell the truth? You did eat the candied fruit. Do I lie and let him beat the shit out of Gloria? Or do I start mocking Grandfather, convinced that Gloria will join you? Well, I'll be honest, I'm not convinced she will join me, but I'll mock that prick all the same. You jump up and try to shield Gloria, then you start boasting right in his face. Yes, you did eat the sugary treat, and it was very much the opposite of sweet. Good thing Gloria did not have time to eat hers, or it would have disappointed her too. Gloria catches on in a moment.
Yeah, sugary treats are for fat noble kids. They're just gross to us. We're just commoners.
You continue her train of thought. Why, we simply got curious after Stephen started boasting about it. He told us these treats are so good, you can eat them forever. But no, your elder brother lied. They are simply unbearable. But then again, what else would you expect from Grandfather's darling Stephen? Grandfather's face is red with rage. He strikes you both with his walking stick, blow for blow. Don't kill me again. You dare mock me? I will not let this stand. Know your place, you foul low-born scum. He keeps hitting you until he grows tired, and then he leaves you where you are, muttering in impotent rage. Soon enough, Mother comes in to find the two of you on the floor, too afraid to move. She shakes her head in disappointment. You are badly hurt and covered in bruises, yet she still forces you to kneel and recite the precepts on the lots and how important it is to follow them. Gloria's face is bruised and swollen, but she still gives you a weak smile.
We got him so riled up. 2 commoners made an honourable noble feel helpless. Makes all the pain worth it. Isn't that right, brother?
Your entire body hurts from the heavy blows, but deep inside you are ecstatic. You stood up to Grandfather today. It is a victory you will remember for the rest of your life. He hates me. Good! I hate him. Father's sword. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Conditions met. When Father is not working long hours, you often see him spending long stretches of time in the backyard, practicing his fencing. You are allowed to watch, but that is it. You are forbidden from touching the sword, let alone actually learning how to fight with it. It is a new day today, and Father has been busy in his study since the early morning. Mother took Gloria and Nathan to the shops. Your studies are done for today. The house is empty. You spot Father's sword hanging by the yard door. He must have left it there by accident after a training session. You deliberate at first, then grab the sword with resolve and run outside. At last, you have a chance to see it up close. It is a small sword used for dueling, heavy and devoid of ornamentation. You recall that it was made specifically for him. The weapon is difficult to handle. Its heft makes the palm of your hand shake. As you get used to it, you try your best to imitate Father's feints. Your technique leaves much to be desired, but at least it's something. You imagine yourself fighting for the family's honor as the thin blade slices through the air. But you swing too far back. The blade nicks your shoulder and cuts through your shirt, staining the fabric crimson. The sword falls to the ground with a dull clang. You try to apply pressure to the wound to make it stop bleeding, but all you do is make the blood flow faster. Hood, what are you doing here? The familiar voice hurts you more than the cut of the sword. Father walks up to you briskly. His rugged arms rip off a length of cloth and bandage your shoulder. He squats by your side and pulls you into an awkward embrace. My son, why did you have to take the sword? You know you're not supposed to hold it. This is no toy. It is a weapon that can take lives. I know how you feel. I used to yearn for my father's dueling sword back when I was a lad. One day you might have a chance to earn the rights to carry a weapon, but first you must have patience and study and become a noble. When that day comes, I will be proud to teach you myself. You rarely spend time with Father without someone else around. There is paternal love in his voice, so much that even the cut on your shoulder barely hurts now. You would be glad to be convinced by what he says, but how can you forget your dream? How can you abandon it just to earn Father's approval? Is it right of him to ask so much of you? Agree or ask to be taught the basics? Come on, Dad. No one's around. Teach me the basics. Father's inquisitive look presses you for an answer. It takes a long time to muster enough courage to speak. You beg him to teach you how to fight, at least the very basics. It will certainly come in handy in your future. It will be your first step towards becoming a nobleman. Now it takes Father a long time to respond. He is about to speak, and you expect a refusal, but he says nothing. He draws a sharp breath again, but remains quiet. Then, finally, he offers you the sword. But remember this, Hood. You are not a warrior. Not yet. You will study this like you study your lessons. He teaches you the first lesson right away. You learn to dodge attacks. There are several times when the tip of the blade cuts the air dangerously close to your nose. It is scary and difficult, but you manage it. From that day forth, Father teaches you the foundations of sword fighting in great secret. You use your passion for tree climbing to explain the cuts you receive during training. Soon you learn how to hold your own in a duel, but will you ever need this art in real life? Event has happened! You dare to study fencing like your father, even though you have no right to it by birth. The sacrament! Father and Mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you are told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament.
Mother, I want to go and play in the yard. No playing today. You and Hood are big boys now. It is time for you both to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot.
Be quiet and listen. You were born commoners, so you must accept a low-born lot before the twins. When you grow up, you will get a chance to earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon the carriage is moving along the streets of Anazosi. Slowly and solemnly, one more turn and you see the colossal white building marked by two massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into two halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered in dried brown spots, while the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and families sit on pews. Father and Grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone of the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the low-born estate shall suffer in the house of the faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest, dressed in black, with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He is scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roils in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and he recites the word of his lot. From this day forth he will fight and rule and pursue the arts, his mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is the next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly snaps out of his fearful trance and tries to break free, but the acolyte pulls him towards the altar and throws him on the jagged floor on the low-born side. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him.
I don't wanna, Hood. Why do they want to whip me? What did I do?
You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the lot as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labour and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks! It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards Mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below. So sharp your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? Oh, I can't kiss the sword. You defy the rite of the sacrament and kiss the priest's sword. Damn it. I may catch the lash. Ooh, or do I stand up? I'm gonna raise my head. The priest readies the lash, but before he can strike, you raise your head and stand up. There are cries of indignation among the churchgoers. The whip cracks. It strikes you on the right shoulder, but you keep your head up. It strikes again, this time on your left shoulder, but you remain standing. No one intervenes. Even the priest is confused by this turn of events. He grits his teeth and he orders you to depart. You are to remain humble and obedient from this day forth, for you now belong to the common estate. You walk away from the altar swaying. You see things with surprising clarity now. You can barely feel the pain, even as blood runs down your back. A timid hand touches yours. It is Nathan. His tearful face a mixture of confusion and awe. Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the church. Once you are outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate. Grandfather is the last to leave the church. His face is covered in red, angry blotches. There is a quiet fury in his voice as he says something to father, who remains quiet and miserable as you walk to the carriage. You defied a powerful will that day. There is fear inside of you. You fear that this will might one day destroy you. It will not. It will lead me to greatness. Childhood's end. The mark left on you by the sacraments takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it is a reminder of your lot. Suffering and sufferance. Pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into, but father keeps telling you to study hard, so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness, when Stephen still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it beneath him to write to commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him, or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon, you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. End of chapter 1. And with that, we have an end to today's video. Now, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, and I barely have a voice remaining from all the reading out loud that I have done. I do hope that it's been worthwhile and that someone has gained some enjoyment from this video. As I said, there are 5 chapters to this story, and for me to do another one, it's gonna take a month off, so my voice can return. Maybe not. But all that is left to say is, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.
The video is over. Now you must subscribe. Down there. Or there.